Earlier in the year, we released a polymer frame striker-fired pistol called the Agency Arms EXA. It was pretty good. And after the release of the EXA, it just made sense to move on to the next category. Well, the 1911. Budget 1911 to be more specific. Now, the budget 1911 landscape sits in a very competitive area. On one hand, they have the Hi-capas. On the other hand, they have Glocks and all the other G series pistols, and they're kind of caught in between. It's really competitive. Now, RWA has been working with Nighthawk Custom for many years, and in fact, it's one of the first licenses seen under the RWA umbrella. Now, during this time, RWA has produced some very iconic Nighthawk Custom pistols, such as the steel and stainless steel GRP, and who could forget the Agent 1 and 2. While there are some incredibly iconic 1911s that were produced under the Nighthawk Custom brand, let's not forget some of the other ones that have graced us and have been loved by the community around the world. I'm talking about the Recon and of course the Covert Ops. Both the Covert Ops and the Recon offered exceptional shooting experience, modern looks, and always came at an affordable price for players just getting into airsoft or wanted to use a 1911 platform while not wanting to shell out a ton of money. But there were some drawbacks to these guns. The fact that they were CO2 and CO2 only meant, yes, they kicked a whole lot, but changing the capsules could be a pain in the butt. And not to mention that there wasn't a whole lot of parts for these guys. I mean, there were some upgrade parts. Tim did a video about a hop-up rubber for one of these guys, and fantastic, by the way. But other than that, that's it. So after years of feedback and thought and conversation with Nighthawk themselves, an internal decision was made that we needed to do a new 1911. Something that was bold and different, but yet catered to our big community of players who wanted an awesome budget 1911, but at the same time catered to another group of people that wanted to be able to pop the hood and work on its proverbial engine, if you know what I mean. That is why today I'm so excited to show you the long-awaited, at least by me, Nighthawk Custom War Hawks by RWA. For those of you that have been following firearms for some time might remember the famous Chris Costa of Magpul Dynamics, the man who popularized much of what we consider modern shooting. Check him out, interesting watch. When he was approached by Nighthawk Custom to do a collaboration pistol, this was the eventual result. After they parted ways, the Costa pistol was then rebranded the Warhawk, and in my opinion, it's one awesome looking 1911. The Nighthawk Custom War Hawks are unique 1911s, and they immediately stand out amongst the competition, starting with its head-turning and very striking aggressive tri-cut design right here on the slide. The tri-cut refers to the angular cuts made to the slide, and see how it compares to other 1911s? It's done away with the rounded top in exchange for these cool, hard edges. In addition to the tri-cut, it's got very prominent serrations up front as well as here in the rear for better manipulation. On top of that, on the top of the slide here, there is a top serration that ends in an arrow pointing right at that red fiber optic sight. That helps with better tracking and keeping your eyes on target as you aim. The RWA Nighthawk Custom War Hawk comes in two different versions, a railed and non-railed version. This offers extra flexibility for players to choose one or the other, so you don't have to repurchase all the different holsters. In addition to be two different versions, both guns are dual system. That means it's going to work with green gas or CO2 without having to swap any of the internal parts. The gun, pretty solid. It's barely any wobble. Very smooth. Trigger breaks nicely. Aims good. You can definitely see those serrations, how it points right at that red fiber optic sight. Slide action feels nice. I mean, it's no stainless steel or Agent 2, but you know, neither is it trying to be. Not bad for a budget 1911. All right. Now let's talk about a very important part of the gun, the internals. Internally, the gun is, drum roll please, Tokyo Marui spec. That's right, you heard me right. These bad boys are TM spec, which means it opens you up to a world of upgrade parts for you to trick this thing out to your heart's content. Due to it being dual system, it's already reinforced. but if you want to further add your personal touch to it, man, go right ahead. The inner barrel on the Warhawk is 122 millimeters and 6.05 in diameter, which is pretty much on par with most of the other pistols on the market. But you know, no one wants to listen to me talk about all the technical aspects and the internals of these guns. So we've prepared a Gambit's guide for all of you guys. Now you can click on the Gambit's guide on the card above or in the description below, where Gambit has a few surprises up his sleeve about this gun for you. You can either pause that, watch that now, or you can continue watching and come back to it later. Welcome back to Landing Zone. Thanks guys for having us here once again at your 30-meter range to test out the Warhawk. Today we're gonna, test drive the Warhawk and see how she shoots. We're gonna use both the green gas mag and the CO2 mag. The first thing we wanna do, let's see if she can reach out easily to 30 meters. Possibly, it's not gonna be hard. Let's see how consistently the Warhawk can do it. And I'm gonna start with the green gas magazine. Feels good. I'm using the non-railed version here. 0.2 gram BBs and green gas. Okay, initial thoughts, that recoil impulse with green gas is already superb. The trigger brake is really good. The red fiber optic sight is very easy to read. As I'm holding it kind of in this high ready, my eyes do follow this top serration to the fiber optic front sight. And the blacked out rear sights really help with my aim. The trajectory of the BB is going straight towards this 30-meter metal target back there, and you can hear it hit. Now, my hold is about the head. It's not overhopping, it's getting there easily. There's a few flyers, but this is a pistol. Not bad. Slide locks back nicely. Every shot felt consistent. Now CO2. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs and CO2. All right, now for the CO2 magazine. The kick of the CO2 feels a little stronger than the green gas and a little bit higher pressure, really driving this BB out in a much straighter trajectory compared to the green gas mag just now. I am not having to aim my holdover so high up, a little bit under the head mid neck area, and I'm hitting center mass consistently. Let's look at follow-up shots. Locks back nicely. Not bad for both of them. All right, now let's talk about the accuracy. Target set up 5 meters or so away. See how tight of a grip we can hold. The trigger is a little heavier than some other 1911s, namely Tokyo Marui 1911s. The reset is very good, audible. I'm gonna see if I can do a couple of double taps. Slide locks back nicely. Let's take a look at those results. So very tight group, just as I would have expected. Several shots even landed within about the same area as the other. Now there was one down here. This one I knew exactly where it was. This was my first double tap. On the second one, I jerked the trigger a little bit, so ignore this. But some of the other double taps like here and like up here, they're very on point, very accurate pistol for sure. And the trigger is definitely superb. Let's take it for a spin. You know, to be honest, I've shot the Recon and the Covert Ops extensively. So this is the first time I'm really shooting an RWA Nighthawk custom gun in green gas. And I have to say, these results are fantastic. The gun is exceptionally easy to aim, very accurate. And to have this red fiber optic front sight, it makes the world of difference. Like I can pick off this headshot relatively easily, and I feel confident to run it quickly. Not like some other 1911s out there where you feel like it gets a little sluggish over time. This guy, I just want to go. I'm no Gambit, but it's pretty good. Oh, I almost forgot. You can directly swap a Hi-capa lower with the Warhawk, kind of making it two guns in one. And while we're here, let's do that and see how that shoots. 0.2 gram BBs, green gas, and our Hi-capa lower. All right, guys, here she is. Warhawk top slide assembly with everything in it, so hop up, inner barrel, everything all the same. But the lower is a Hi-capa lower. This is like the first of its kind, Nighthawk custom in a double stack format, first of its kind in airsoft at least. So with the Hi-capa, you get that fantastic renowned lower and trigger and all the goodies that come with a Hi-capa lower with the consistency and the large capacity magazine and bigger gas reservoir. I can't wait to try this out. Oh, feels good. Let's see, trajectory. Oh, it's reaching. It's definitely reaching. I have to get used to this trigger. The Hi-capa trigger compared to the Warhawk lower trigger is much softer. It's a race trigger. It wants to go fast. I feel like I've engine swapped my gun. I feel like I've now put in some kind of snarling, supercharged, race engine into my already very good gun. I couldn't help it, guys. I just wanted to go faster. Let's see how fast I can run it. Oh, that was it. With no modifications necessary, original slide lock, locks the slide back perfectly. Oh my goodness. Let's take this race car of a gun for a walk. Here we go. Ooh, it's so easy to press this trigger back. And with that added weight of the metal slide, this gun feels so good in your hand. Trajectory of the BBs is very consistent. And once you get used to this softer Hi-capa trigger, it really makes you want to fly. It really allows you to be like, if there's an army of guys downrange, you can go take these guys on. Wow. Let's just see with this mag dump. Here it is. I had my thumb over the slide lock just now, that's why the slide didn't lock back, but as you can see, the slide locks back just fine. Killer. Killer pistol. Back to the studio. We talked a lot about RWA and Nighthawk Custom in this video. Now, if you want to watch more videos about RWA and Nighthawk Custom, click in the card above, or you can find them in the description below. There's a whole bunch of them, so watch to your heart's content. The Warhawk has come a long way, and when the internal decision was made to produce a new line of budget 1911s, there was some trepidation there, I'm not gonna lie, because there are already two very good models that RWA already makes that is well loved, being the Covert Ops and the Recon. So the last thing we wanted was to have the successor to be like kind of meh. And on top of that, the development time did take a little bit longer for the Warhawk because they were slated for production and then COVID hit. But I guess a good thing that came of that was we had enough time to make sure these guns were QC'd to the best that we knew how to do. Personally, I would have wished the gun came with different color grip panels instead of this black, basic, generic ones. Maybe the brown, more akin to what we see on the actual Costa gun. And I would have loved to have a flat face trigger on this, but then again, the original one came with a trigger like this, but nitpicking time. But what I think this pistol really offers is killer looks, flexibility for the player to choose whatever system that best suits you, and the fact that it is a budget 1911 out of the box that has an incredible upgrade potential for anyone who wants to tinker with it. Not to mention the fact that you can swap out this lower for a Hi-capa. Dude, that's like engine swapping a car. I mean, it's a totally different animal the moment you swap this for something else. So I guess you're getting multiple pistols in one, I guess. But what do you guys think? Warhawk best hawk? I think at the moment with our budget line of RWA Nighthawk Customs, I would easily say this is the best hawk that we have in our lineup within the same budget. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, this pistol is going to be available really soon. So if you want to get yours, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. If you like this video, give us a like. If you thought it was cool, share it with your friends. And if you haven't done so yet, everybody, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified every time we have a new video out. And until then, I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel. Have a good one.